Welcome back to episode 11 of Let's Play Agrarian Skies with me, Gradister. And as you can see, last episode we built a mob farm which is automatic and it's producing us lots of nice amounts of stuff. Let's gonna take a look. Yep, so one stack of 16 ender pearls and other stuff, some of which I've sent to compost. Bones obviously were good for bone meal. Some miscellaneous stuff, including the miniature hearts, which will be useful later. And by the way, you can also use MFR's mob grinder to get rid of these things, but there's a few things you miss, and I think the red hearts are one of them. So for the moment, I'm just keeping these supplied with enough iron. I started building a second house. This one is a workshop. It'll match the style of the original. Only problem with the original is a lot of it's made out of redstone, and that particular kind of redstone creates a redstone signal, and I don't particularly want redstone signals in a workshop, which is what this is going to be. So for the moment, I'm just considering what else to put on it. But today's episode, we actually want to do something. I've started putting manual farms together. Nothing excessive at the moment, but because I don't have a second cow and we have one pig, I'm going to have to sort those out with spawners. But today's episode, I kind of want to add this resource system we've been building. There's one particular thing we're short of, and to start converting this across into an applied energistic system, which is just basically getting rid of all these barrels and you just have a single terminal you can access everything on. We've got things like surface quartz dust. We've got things like surface quartz. Both of those are very useful, and we've obviously got lots of gold, lots of iron, and we can make as much glass as we want, but we're short of nether quartz, and I don't know about you, feel free. I've heard rumours that the nether in Agrarian Skies is a death zone, so I don't have great armour, so I'm probably not going to do that. Instead, let's get some of the nether stuff, cobalt, ardite, nether quartz, maybe even some nether wart from more sifting. In this case, we need mycelium. Now, one of the things you should have been getting here is ancient spores. I think this works on bare earth. If it doesn't, then we'll need to look it up. But nope, there we go. So that's mycelium. So let me get a stack of that. Well, alright, less than a stack. Yeah, no, I could have done that easier. Probably will spread, but just because I'm impatient. Now, what is mycelium, you may be asking? Well, it's useful if you want to grow mushrooms. But in our case, we don't need mushrooms. What we're actually looking for, let me just put something down. I don't want the fluid up yet, so let me just fill this. That'll do for now. What we're looking for in the meantime is actually something else. This oak barrel we're going to fill with water, so let me just grab some water. And as you can see, it changes colour. Now, over a little while, it shouldn't take too long, because of the amount of mycelium that is around. There we go. I've got a bucket of witch water, and as you can see, mushrooms have spawned. You can make soup with mushrooms, and you can make more witch water with mushroom soup, but it should be simpler for us to just get this working. What we actually need to do, first of all, to destroy these guys, and maybe destroy you as well. Okay. We want to put a fluid duct in place, but we don't just want it to pull anything. We want it to only pull, whitelist only. Where's my bucket? Witch water. Anything else should not be pulled out, so it won't pull the water out too early. And now we're going to need more fluid ducts, and probably a drum. We should do it for now. Drum's very useful. Fluid duct. These chests are getting ridiculous. Got some drums. Good. I'm hoping again it's going to be gravity fed. Should work just fine. Let's put this drum down. And let's put our earth back down. There we go. And what else do we need? We need an input. And for an input we want water. And that will be an aqueous accumulator, really. I don't think I have any spare. It takes to make them not very much. Tin, right. And I say not very much because I went and created a whole bunch of tin buckets. This recipe's been disabled. Okay. Let's go for iron instead. Fine. Of which I had tons anyway. So we want a bucket, and then we look in here where I've got machine frame, a pneumatic servo, and a couple of pieces of glass. And is that enough? Yeah, it is. Okay, now I could put it below here, but then I have to you have to pipe it into the side, and it's going to be fluid duct, and that means I can't put it right next to that. So let's just over here, I think. To get rid of the witch water. Yeah, so it is going to work. And it is spreading, see? You don't need to do anything, it's just like grass. And then we want the fluid duct with water in it. Piped over here. And that should be it. That should now, well, first of all, it's going to spawn mushrooms like crazy. But as soon as that turns into witch water, it should get pulled out. Come on. There we go. Let's put a bit of dirt back in place. So let's try that again. See if it happens. Yep, there it goes. So every time, this is now just going to fill up with witch water, which is exactly what we want. Why do we want witch water? Well, the thing we need to sieve is called soul sand, and you've probably encountered that if you've been to the Nether before. However, we're not going to go to the Nether, so the only way to get the soul sand is by by dropping sand, just like we drop dust into water to get clay. You drop sand into witch water to get soul sand, which we can then sieve just like we've done with all the rest of the stuff. So I may well set that up off camera because you don't want to see another setup of cyclic assemblers or anything like that. In fact, we don't need cyclic assemblers, just some sieves into this system should be fine with some more barrels, at least temporarily barrels, until we get enough nether quartz that we can convert across to an AE system. And as you can see, if you wanted mushroom soup, there is definitely enough mushrooms to do the job. Yeah, so that's that system built. Feel free to build it wherever you like. Only thing you got to do is make sure you got mycelium, which you got to get from this stuff first. Alright, moving on. While the witch water is building up over there, one of the things I want to do is start to upgrade these things. Item Ductor Peg. They're really the starter game stuff, and we're probably a bit beyond that now. And similarly, probably these stuff. There's an upgrade. What the upgrade does is you can see what's travelling through them. And there's a further upgrade to that, which you don't have to craft independently like these. You can just directly upgrade from this second tier we're about to build. All you have to do is add some glowstone with a special machine. Now, let me show you what we need for that. First thing we need is obsidian, and we need to pulverize it. So, machine down here is doing exactly that. There's an igneous extruder, aqueous accumulator, pulverizer with some power. And all it needs is lava, and it will then produce some stuff. Have I connected in lava? No, I've moved the drum out, so, you know, if you want more lava, there we go, that'll just fill naturally from the system. But we've already got plenty of stacks of it. We need to combine pulverized obsidian with pulverized lead. And that'll make us, here's what we're looking for. Item duct, this one. We need hardened glass, and hardened glass is an induction smelter, which is the new machine we're going to need to build, with 8 obsidian, pulverized obsidian, and 1 pulverized lead. So, do we have enough to make that induction smelter yet, though? I wonder. Induction. Yep, that just depends on whether we've got any invar left. If not, we're just going to make some. Ooh, 2 left. Just the amount that we needed. That's good. Let's just get rid of some of this other stuff that's weighing me down. That's better. So what do we want again? We wanted 2 copper, I think it said. So let's grab some of that. And we needed 2 invar, machine frame, redstone reception coach, gold, and a couple of redstone. I've got the redstone. So I need another bucket, which is easy enough. Get the machine frame. I made a few of them. We are going to be using them. Induction smelter. Now, this back wall here isn't powered at the moment. The power line is running this way. So, do we have any conduit? That'd be interesting. What will the next level of conduit up is going to cost us? Top level we probably can't make it, that needs another machine. There's an Invar upgrade. Okay, it's all an Invar upgrade. I actually prefer to get that machine then and get the top level stuff. Fluid transposer, yes, that's fine. But we also need hardened glass and electrum. Okay. Fine. So we need this system first. Which means we're going to have to use the old kind of conduit. Which is okay, it's just that it's got a maximum amount of 80 RF per tick for anything along that conduit line, which may not be enough for multiple machines running at the same time. Do I have any other conduit? Ah, there we go. Gotta find something more than toast. Sick of toast. But it's so nourishing. So, is that the front, I wonder? No, it's not. There we go. So, if I put the machine down, it's powering up, which is exactly what we want. And I think we're just going to set it so that top is output for everything. The way the induction smelter works is it expects two different, well, maybe two different materials, two are the same, but certainly two sets of materials. So if I drop, what we want is some of that stuff from downstairs, don't we? So still at the point, I'll grab a couple of stacks. Nothing's happening. See? And that's because it doesn't correspond to an induction smelter recipe, so we need to get the lead. Now, I was almost sure that I pre-pulverized some lead somewhere. Maybe it's back in the house. Yep, there we go. Okay, so it's 8 obsidian to 1 pulverized lead, so obviously the lead is going to last a lot longer. But now there's a valid recipe. It's going to produce hardened glass. There we go. 2 per 9 of the materials. So what we could do is put a hopper on the top or something like that, or pipe it in from the back or something else like that. I'm not too worried about it just yet. We're not going to need that much hardened glass. Let's see what the rest of the recipe is. So, yeah, it's going to be the item ducts first. Just for the upgrade. It's just tin. Fine. Stack of tin. There we go. Lots of item ducts. And it's simplest to show you here, I think. Let's just shut this down for a second. Grab all of those back. Works just as before, but now if I output to the top, you can see all the stuff passing through. Why is it handy? Well, when you got this system and you don't know why everything's bypassing where it should do, which is exactly what's happening at the moment, or at least not everything, but a fair amount of stuff isn't going in to this back line, isn't going into the machines, I should say, then it's a bit of a problem for chicken. That just got sucked into the vacuum hopper. Oh well. It's a bit of a problem for figuring out what's going on, unless you can see what's going through the system, which is precisely why that's what we're going to be doing next. In this case, it's not these that's going wrong, it's actually these. So it's leaving these hoppers. It's supposed to be going into this set of machines, and then out to the top, and then back round, up, and into our barrels. It isn't working. So an upgrade is well in order. And similarly for this kind of system, in fact, I've got someone giving me good advice about this. Okay. Yeah, so similarly we can do fluid ducts. See that traversing through the system, see how much, see if there's any missing. Just to demonstrate while this is here. Grab the lava drum. Drop it down. And that's going to automatically start. Well, will once it's produced the first obsidian anyway. There we go. Pulverizing it, dropping it into there, and that's useful for upgrades. Job done. Well, almost job done. This is really kind of unsightly. I do want to sort it out. Assuming this is in this pack. Yeah, we got saws. So we can make a diamond saw with 3 stone rods, 2 sticks, and a diamond. What are the other stone saws, iron saws? We still need those stone tool rods, so let's go and make those. This saw is very, very useful for anything you decorate with, but in our case we're not really decorating, so we're just covering things up. Tool rods. One. Three. Store a fourth somewhere. We don't need it. We need 2 sticks. Let's go 4 on a diamond. These do wear out. They are the advantage of durability, but the diamond one, it lasts pretty much, well, I've never had one run out. So the way this works is... Wow, have I crashed? Okay, that was really delayed, and I'm on single player, so fine. That was odd. Where was I? Yes. So you take your saw and whatever you want to divide up. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, on the saw on top, it's the other direction once we get down to smaller amounts, but this will divide things into slabs. These are microblock slabs. These aren't the same things as half slabs, the Minecraft ones. And you can divide them down into panels, and panels into covers. And covers are what we want. If you wanted to go further again, you could do this to make strips. And if you wanted to, you could, for instance, from slabs, you can make pillars. So there's much thicker versions. Once you get into the forge microblocks from the default Minecraft stuff, you can then start dividing them two ways and then slice them up into even smaller pieces. We don't need any of that. We just need, that should just, yeah, get that back. We just need the covers. And you should see an outline. Hopefully the quality is high enough. If you click it in the center, it'll produce it flat. Any of the others, of the quarter that you see, there should be 5 sections, the middle, and then each of the cardinal points. And each of the, depending where you select, is where this is going to be placed. So if I want it on top, I put it there. See? All covered away. No one knows any different. And that's the easiest way to use covers. By the way, you can just demonstrate, you can use a similar kind of thing. We've got this sandstone around. I was going to demonstrate that. Where's the sand? Okay, I've got some in here. So this stuff, texture pack doesn't really portray it very well. If this was the default Minecraft texture pack, you'd see bricks here. And the way you do that, you obviously make sand into sandstone. And this texture pack, I think they're identical. Well, nearly. Okay. Maybe not exactly identical. But that house is made of sandstone brick. So if we want the same thing, convert it into half slabs, pile them on top of one another, you get chiseled sandstone. Combine that with a chisel, which I've put away. That was intelligent of me. Combine that with a chisel that's in one of your chests in the house that you can never find. Chisel. Chisel. A chisel you can make using this equipment just like before. It's just a tool rod and a chisel head pattern. Make it out of flint. No need to worry about anything complex. And then just combine the chisel with your chisel sandstone to make sandstone brick. But then you can also take that further and use your saw to cut this into slabs and then into pillars. Why pillars? Well, because that's one of the blocks that's here in the corners. So if you want something that's a little bit more rounded, just make sure you select the left half there, left half, left half, left half. You get the idea. Do be aware that the more of these microblocks that you use, the more lag you'll induce in your area. It's generally not a problem with this amount, but there have been people who've just done lots and lots and lots of microblocks. Don't make your entire base out of microblocks, put it that way. It just produces a great deal of lag. They have to kind of figure out all kinds of things like lighting and how they interact with other blocks around them and how they form together into multiple parts and stuff like that. So just be aware of it. Don't go demented with them. But otherwise, just use them, wherever you just want something that fits. And that'll do for now. Okay, now really I'm done with that part. How much witch water have we got so far? Okay, half a drum. And just to demonstrate that, do I still have some sand? Got a witch water bucket. There's my sand. There's a barrel. So, witch water, sand, soul sand, sieve, and we've got a piece of nether quartz. And that's just by sheer coincidence the exact one that we want. Of course, we've got to do this en masse, just like we've done before. So I'm going to cut that one off camera and then come back. In fact, I may even do it between the episodes because it's a little bit boring. You've seen it all before. It's just another set of these. I may even do it down here. In fact, we don't have to do it with all of this rest of the item ducts because we're not processing any of that, the stuff that's coming out of it. We just need to hook it up maybe, I don't know, maybe back here and then just up straight away, straight into the top, and away we go. Okay. And that, we're coming to the end of the episode. We got a fair bit done this episode. We got witch water, mycelium. If you want mushroom soup, that's another advantage. All you need to make is a bowl, which is wood, and I think it's the same recipe as the bucket, but with wood. You can make mushroom soup. That's a good source of food. I hate mushrooms in real life, so yeah, I'm not going to use mushroom soup. The other way of automating that, by the way, if you can make mushroom soup, or if you get mushrooms, that's cows that have been converted across, instead of getting milk from them, you can get mushroom soup from them, which you can pipe into this barrel, or any barrels really. You don't need the mycelium then, just pipe it into a barrel and then wait, and it will then, so that's possibly faster later on once we have more things to farm with, but initially just water and mycelium will do this job for you. And that's pretty good. We've upgraded item ducts, and I'll probably upgrade more of those off camera. I've not shown you the fluid duct recipe. The fluid duct is... or have I? There's only one upgrade for the fluid duct, there's not two. Same thing, but just with copper. And from the item duct side of things, this one is the first new item we're going to need. You just throw the old stuff away, you can't upgrade that. But on top of that, or you can upgrade it, but yeah, we're not going to. On top of that, you can then add impulse item ducts. Now that's the same thing as the item ducts, you can see through them, so you can see what's in them. But you have to drop energized glowstone, which is kind of fluid glowstone, into them using a machine called a fluid transposer. That's one of the things, along with magma crucible, that we're going to be building in this array here. I'm going to fill the rest of this wall in, I think. Obviously the induction smelter is pretty much a separate machine on the end. And we're going to want a few machines here to actually do the rest of our processing. We don't have things like IC2, so we're going to have to depend on good old thermal expansion, which is not a bad thing to depend on, to do the majority of our work for us. So we've got that to look forward to. May do that in the next episode, actually, just to get a workshop up and running. And then once we've got the workshop, we can then, and we've got these extra barrels for our stuff, we need more nether quartz. And then nether quartz, along with all of these ingredients we've already got, will make us an ME system, which will get rid of all these barrels, which will be much, much, much nicer. Because we can also then upgrade downstairs to stop having to use all these item ducts all over the place. All we need to do is pull the stuff into the ME system and then pull it out wherever we need it. No need for a long travelling pipe like this. Anyway, that's a bit too much for the end of an episode. So next episode we're going to come back and do that. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them below. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more episodes. And this has been episode 11. Thanks for watching.